So, my dear students, what are we seeing on the screen? The exam. Supposed to be a thriller movie, but then I am not going to go into such a one. It is going to be a very friendly discussion about the mode of handling the exam. And this ACME is incidentally, it means Advanced Course in Medical Education. So, decades of my experience are being given to you people. Preparing for the university exam. That is exactly what this class is about. There are three types of exams. Formative, your various class tests and other things, monthly tests, quarterly, etc., which prepares you for the summative test. Summation means it is a total assessment whether we are fit or not for the next promotion. Competitive exam, on the other hand, is a severe, ruthless exam wherein it is the ranking that matters. So, we shall go to the summative type of exam for today's presentation. Always there is a structure. We should be very familiar with it. There can be the objective type of questions, the long essays, the short essays, short notes, very short answers. So I shall tell you the advantage and disadvantage of each. Incidentally, the MCQs and the very short answers overlap so much so that only one can find a place in the question paper. Look at this. So this is the question paper that has been taken from one of the universities. And it very clearly mentions what the paper is about, general pathology and hematology, the marks that it carries, maybe including the MCQs. And there are different things that we will have to know. All questions, diagrams, the time limit, and so on. And these are the essay questions. If you observe them carefully, they are broken into small components, and that is called a structured essay, which helps the students. So here what you people see is the short notes, a list of short notes that cuts across the entire text or the portions, starting from the free radicals and ending up in rickets and also the leukemoid reaction as well as the ES. By this, you find that the entire portions can be assessed, and even if you do omit or downplay one or two questions, we shall still get decent marks. But here comes a catch. The definitions are important, types are important, so wordings. But then there can be certain long answers also which come into this. Therefore, we should be careful and prepare very short notes for the short notes and short notes for the essays, etc. They are interlinked. And always we should be knowing the structure of the question. And all my classes are based on the question paper. This shall make us stand in the sands of time. And this is also a must for the students. Look at the pathetic pathology in the face of the student. In fact, if you do take a selfie of yourself now and before the exam, you shall understand. Must for students will be answering all the questions, managing the time. It should be pertaining to the subject and pertaining to the question. I cannot answer pharmacology in a case of pathology and otherwise. So this is a landmark, the Statue of Liberty. You people know where it is. And our answers also shall be having certain landmarks, which are the subheadings, flow diagrams, line diagrams, underlining, margin, eligibility, and the quantum of the answers. All these, I put them as landmarks because they will be getting me marks. And where exactly do we lose marks? By omitting questions when it is out of context, taking the examiner for granted, and the wrong answer. Take this to be an MCQ, which is correct. Taking the examiner for granted. This is a major mistake or trend that I'm finding in today's students. Kindly do not do that because the examiners cannot give us leverage beyond a limit. So try to hit the nail in the head. Problem-based questions. So difficult but not difficult. So in this, you will have to choose the keywords. This is a question from the partner university. There are certain words which are important and there are the questions accordingly. I will be able to answer them. This again is a problem-based question and please note the keywords. Be careful, they will not be highlighted or underlined in the question paper. Breathlessness means no RBCs or less RBCs. Infections, less WBCs. And bleeding, less platelets or clotting factors. So, all of this means there is a pancytopenia which is reflected in a dry tap in the bone marrow. And of course, this can be a cause. So, what happens here is the answer is aplastic anemia. And of course, what I shall write is blood and bone marrow. This will be the bread and butter in hematology. The other causes, etc., we shall read. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. So the thinking of the examiner and the students ought to be different, but shall merge imperceptibly. Again, a PBL, there are some keywords again. Distended abdomen, alcohol, this alone can be a keyword. And there is disorientation, probably the complication of a cirrhosis. So, what are all the things? In pathology, again, it will be gross and microscopy, which are more important. I shall always be stressing on the other subheadings as and where required. Complications, for example. This, of course, the multiple choice questions. It is a nightmare and a death knell for the students because this is where we lose marks. In other instances, even if the answer is a little wrong, you find that the students can be given some marks, whereas here it is 100% or nil percent. So, this is the structure of it. I shall be dealing with the MCQs in detail in a later class. No good teacher would like to see his students fail, purposely give less marks, be vindictive, that is punitive, find out fault and see bad results. So this is a concept and we should all realize that teachers are student friendly. A sequence works in a way, a collection never can. So always, even if you have collected a lot of material, it has to be sequentially arranged for better results. What fetches marks? Subjective answers, volume, time, objective. So these are all certain things, but look at this again, the keywords, diagram, etc. But the most important one shall be the sequence. So have an order by itself. Think of the subheadings will take you to the answer. And the evaluation shall be based on the subheadings, the diagrams, readability, genuineness, obviously. And any of our answers should be based on a text and not otherwise. So, dear students, what do you understand from this picture? Lend me a helping hand to help you. That is what the examiner and the faculty tell you. All the best.